What up, everybody? It's your boy, Steve B. And I'm doing one of my mental health rants again with a good friend of mine. He is deciding to be anonymous tonight, so say hello, Anonymous.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, he says. Oh, shit. It's him.
Yeah.
It's Big Ian. You know. What's up, Ian?
How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing good,
Pretty
man.
nervous.
Pretty nervous? It's no big deal, man. Here, let me move. I gotta get this out of here so it's not blocking you. Alright, that's
But
better.
I appreciate your cause. I've been following it since you started it.
Yeah, man, Manic Medicine, dude. It's a movement. It's starting. It's still at the bottom, but I don't have too many subscribers. But hopefully, it turns into something better. But besides that, though, you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself? You're gonna tell them a lot about yourself, probably. But let's start. Like, what's your original?
You know what?
What's up?
I like what you're doing, especially because in general, whether it be the United States population, Canada, Russia, whatever country, worldwide, especially with the pandemic going on, there's not enough attention to mental health.
Not at all.
Nobody has a solution.
No.
Every country has a different way of doing things too.
Yeah, and it's messing people up. It's messing people up that didn't even have mental health problems before. Now everybody's feeling it with the pandemic too, but we're especially feeling it. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty well versed in reading psychology, different books, throughout America, and the general studies they made us go do. It's like 101, 102, that bullshit. But I was interested in the Swedish or the Canadian and their people and their theories and how they deal with mental illness.
Yeah.
That's what the core of this is to me. It's beyond myself. I'm not here for me in a way,
Yeah. Where are you at right now, Ian?
But yeah, my story really just ties in with everything. I'm in Ecuador.
He's out of the country, y'all. He's living it down south, right?
Yeah, I have all my paperwork with me if it means anything. But really, we're a socialist medicine program down here, much like the United States almost is. The good thing about the United States is that, I don't want to take it there, Steve.
What are you talking about, socialist medicine in this country? In this country?
Well,
in the United States.
In my case, I got lucky, so to say. I got locked in under Obamacare, being a diagnosis of bipolar and mentally ill, and they gave me the welfare, which helped with everything, free doctor's appointments, medicines, and everything, which was essential at that point in my life. I had returned to the States with no income, no money. We make very little down here. But it's a very socialist system. What I'm getting at is I'm locked in. To this point, still, even after Trump, they still haven't kicked me off.
So
I've been socialist medicine in the United States for about...
You're still on Obamacare right now?
Yeah.
You're on Obamacare right now?
I'm on UPMC for you. That's an option we have.
Yeah.
Being on welfare, I think we have... In Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, we have the option of Highmark or UPMC. But regardless of what you choose, the money's coming from the welfare system, and I'm locked in. And it's because of my mental illness and the timing of it, the sheer timing. So there are people on the streets obviously not being treated.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know where to start, Steve.
I know. I don't know where to start either.
How many different episodes? I just want to start off and say the United States fucked me up a great deal. And the problem being, I returned in about 2018. Then I injured my back. So long story short, I had several doctors for surgeons for the back. We want to say pain treatment doctors. Then I had, a psychiatrist. And then I had a PCP and a physical therapist and a chiropractor. And the list goes on. And all of these people are writing different medications.
Yeah.
And they're not in cohorts with each other because they're from different programs or whatnot. They're just not in communication, and they got me loaded on all these pills, and the contradiction of these psych meds, these pain meds, actually hospitalized me.
So, let me ask you a question. Because you got so many doctors prescribing so many different medications, do they know what medications you're on? Like, do they know the side effects? The fact that do they know what the medication that they're providing you is going to mess with these other medications? Because you said you got multiple medications.
I'm not being pompous. These are my degrees. Each of these doctors have different degrees. They specialize in different areas.
Yeah.
And then really what it comes down to is their point of contact. They all can get on their computer system and see what I'm on and who's prescribing it. But they each think that they're doing the right thing. And the end result was me on 6 to 8 pills a day. And it was too many narcotics. And it actually drove me to a point of I actually lost my mind. I had never been that crazy in my life. I was totally dysfunctional to the point where I could have walked in front of traffic, whatnot, and it was because I was over-medicated. And the problem being, not one doctor would take responsibility. The psychiatrist didn't want to say it was her fault. My PCP didn't want to say it was his fault. The pain management doctor didn't want to say it was his fault. So no one thought it was their fault. But it was a cohort of 5 or 6 doctors that weren't in connection. And my reasoning is because some of them were with Highmark.
Yeah.
Because where I grew up, and my PCP, where I grew up, is Highmark. And my primary care is cardholder is UPMC. So I was for pain management and operation. I was seeing UPMC. And for the other things, I was using Highmark. And because they're 2 different systems and their competition, they didn't share enough information with each other, is my personal feeling in the end. And all of the doctors over-medicated me, and it almost killed me. And I hold a very high resentment against the over-medication in the United States. I mean, I don't want to get into the pharmaceutical companies becoming, trillionaires.
So what are you on right now? What are you on right now?
There we go. There we go. And I'm gonna.
What happened?
Switch around. Here we go. So here's what I do. This it's socialist medicine down here. I got treated about 2 months ago.
Just so you know, I can't tell what I'm looking at right there, just because of the way the screen is.
It's a drawer full of pills.
And you're on all that shit?
All people that. Well, look, here's what it comes down to, and what I said.
It looks like a lot of pills.
Yeah, but it's not. Once you organize it in the morning, night. So here's 1 day of medicine.
You don't gotta actually. You don't gotta tell me what you're on. Actually, I shouldn't have asked that. My bad.
Why does it matter? I think it's better that we talk about it and
all right.
Get different opinions.
True. Yeah. I guess I talk about what I'm on sometimes.
And it's a little overwhelming. I know that America does the same thing. You go to the pharmacy and they just dump a whole shit ton of pills on you. Some of the times, those pills have been sitting there for a few weeks or a few days, and the doctor ordered them and discontinued them. But you know what I'm saying? You get all these fucking pills and all these bags and all this information. So for me, with my OCD and the way I lead my life, it's just easier for me to put everything in an AM, PM. And I take 1 pill in the morning, 1 in the afternoon.
At least you got the. At least you got the. At least you can do that, and you got. You know what I mean? I couldn't do something like that and organize all my shit. I can't do anything like that. I'm too lazy to do that shit.
It's absolutely essential, Steve. Because look, I missed a pill 2 days ago, and I can tell that.
I've missed pills before. Definitely, I've missed pills before.
The good thing is, I'm taking just Depakote and Remeron. That's it.
What's Remeron?
Quetiapine. That's in Spanish. Quetiapina. It's the same thing. It's a mood stabilizer, the same as Depakote.
Okay. Did they got you? So you said you're OCD. What's your are you bipolar?
Oh, I'm diagnosed bipolar.
Yeah. So you're bipolar and OCD. Is there anything else you wanna say?
Well, I self-diagnosed the OCD. It's
okay.
Obvious.
But
from the doctors, here's a good one to bring up because it'll help with that talking about Ecuador and is that PTSD. And I didn't realize that until I was 33.
Yeah.
And I was 2-3 hospitals, 4-5 rehabs in, in my 36 years of life. Probably my last rehab, I think. But yeah, I sat down with the psychiatrist, and after like 5 minutes, she's like, "You've been through some shit, man. You have PTSD."
Right. Yeah, man. That's like everybody's got PTSD to some extent these days. It seems like, which I'm not downplaying yours. I'm just saying that's like the most popular thing people say is that they got the PTSD. I got it too, man. I definitely have PTSD.
All this is difficult to bring up.
Yeah. Maybe this isn't the direction you wanted to go with this conversation.
I feel the same way. I feel less manly saying that. I mean, imagine my brother was 10 years Marine Corps, and he did 2 or 3 tours. I understand PTSD from that.
Yeah.
He went to war.
Right.
Spent over a year of his life in war. But me, a lot of it was self-inflicted, but it was because of the mental illness and the problems with the drinking that led me to have my poor decisions and put me in places that were just, I don't even know if I want to go there at this point. I mean, just, foreign deportation holding,
So
stuff that most people couldn't even imagine.
So have you been in like the have you been to any of the psych systems up in the States? Like while you were up here?
Absolutely.
The only reason I ask, you don't have to get into it, but the only reason I ask is because one of the main questions I wanted to ask you was to make like a comparison, because you said earlier that they treat people with psychiatric problems totally different down in Ecuador than they would in the States. Like they almost don't respect it to a degree. The way you were describing it.
No, I never said that. No. It's I'm sorry you got that idea. No, it's actually very similar.
It's good.
Ecuador,
that's good then.
And that's why, politically it's good for me to assert this to people that don't know. Ecuador is a known, and it's a socialistic system. And that's what the party is. It is what it is. It's accepted. It's socialistic. Now, from my experience in 30 years in the United States, and at this point, our system is almost like that anyway. There's very little differences, actually. So yeah, for you to say American medicine is not socialistic, you receive Social Security and get free government health care. So I mean, what's not socialist about that, bro?
I mean, they're trying. That's what I would imagine. A lot of people want it more socialistic up here than it is already. That people will still cling on to the fact that they don't want it to be socialistic because I don't know if we want to get into this conversation.
No, it's because I don't think people understand what it really is. I think socialism, and as far as running the government, could be bad, but as far as medicine is concerned, it's absolutely necessary. No person, whether it be mentally ill or cancer, AIDS, anything, a broken arm, or mental problems, they should not be denied medicine.
No.
Yeah. So
you're right.
I never shared my opinion. What I wanted people to see is people are living in the United States thinking it's not socialistic, but it really is.
Gotcha.
And the medicine is a good way to point it out. But we're not there yet. There's still people in the streets, and I don't even get started on the treatment of our veterans, because obviously they have the highest suicide rates and mental illness, and naturally, that's why I'm doing this, man. After what really opened my eyes was reading I wish I knew names and stuff, but I don't. But a Canadian psychologist, I read the majority of his book, and how the most interesting part, he starts off talking about Seattle to Vancouver, which is only like a 10-20 minute ride from the United States to Canada.
But it's different though. Or maybe it's not. Yeah.
People are killing themselves, robbing in stores, dying in the streets. In America, you go to Vancouver, they have open clinics where people can go use drugs, and then they can seek help with everything: mental health, physical health, sexual health for women.
Yeah.
They give people pre-approved drugs, and it's kind of the same idea as Suboxone with the heroin addicts, but they have a much more welcoming attitude, and there's no poverty, very little poverty. There's very little crime.
Yeah, I know someone from Vancouver. He loves it up there.
So it's just like, I didn't come on here just to like knock the United States and the way they're doing it wrong, but it's nice to bring it up when I can.
So, question for you. So, why did you pick Ecuador specifically to move to?
Well, you can just make a list because it's not just one choice. You know, like anything in life, you weigh out the pros and the cons.
I know you love it down there. We were talking about it earlier.
I do.
I know you love it down there.
I came down here for my graduate school. With my graduate school for 2 weeks, and we did a little jungle tour. You know, at that time, they were trying to do the sustainability thing, taking Coke bottles and turning them into roofs. You know, that's what we were doing. I visited with my school. And then when life got too much up in the United States, you know, I couldn't take it anymore, and I thought it was time for a drastic change. And
it's like paradise down there. It's like paradise down there, right?
Most of the time. And
yeah.
Depending where you go, it's nice because it's a in the corner of South America I'm in, you can go from the mountains really high up where it gets chilly at night. You know, or you can go down to the jungle. With the monkeys and the birds, or you can go to the beach.
Is it
with the beaches?
No, I'm not. Is that on the? That's on the West Coast, right?
Correct. So it's Pacific Ocean.
Nice. Yeah, man, that'd be crazy.
But they have the American dollar. It's one of the safer countries. What else? Yeah, I weighed out all the countries. You live in Bolivia, they don't have a beach.
Now, I got a question for you, and you might not be ready for this question, but I was really thinking about a tough question that I wanted to ask you regarding living down there. Now, you and I have a similar diagnosis, I think, and I think we have similar problems. We don't need to go down the list of them, but I know for myself that if I went through the things that I went through up here, down there, by myself, dude, I would be so fucking paranoid. Like if I had a manic episode down in Ecuador and like I mean you do know people down there, but you told me that there's some shady shit down there. Like what is that like? Like what is that like, man? It's like going, because I know you've had episodes down there and stuff.
Yeah, and that kind of like brings me to what I want to talk about real quick. Just let me mention it. And should I? Yeah, why not? You know, I don't want to hide stuff. They have me on liquid Klonopin, which is like Xanax.
Okay.
Now imagine the United States that doesn't exist because it's a junkie's dream. You can just toss the bottle upside down, mix it with something, and then put yourself to sleep like Mac Miller. But my panic attacks the past 3 to 4 months have gotten so bad, I've fallen to the ground. I thought I've had heart attacks. And what's scary is I'm with my son or my wife or just my son or just myself. I'll tell you, let's just start by myself right now. I mean, they would just, they'd come take my watch off me, rob my money, you know.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one of them might be nice enough to try CPR. But not before they take my wallet.
You're talking about being fucked up though. I'm talking about like if a manic episode.
I'm out shopping.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to meet a friend late. You know, at night. You know, it depends, man. It can be sketchy down here.
Yeah.
The police. I could go on so many tyrants. You know, you don't appreciate American police, and you think I wouldn't like police. I do. You don't appreciate American police? Come down here, call 911, and wait 3 hours.
Oh, really?
Wait till they rob. Yeah, if they even come, and they won't take a report.
You said, you told me that I'm not going to get into it if you don't want to, but you told me you were in crisis that one time, and you were visibly, you were in distress, and they just drove right by you, like it was nothing.
I actually had blood on my hands because my head was bleeding so profusely.
Yeah.
And I was able to touch the car. I jumped in front of their car, and they slowed down to about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and I was able to put blood on his windshield. That's how much he didn't give a shit.
He didn't give a shit.
It's different.
It's the police are.
Whole other conversation.
Yeah, it's a whole. I mean I back the blue up here, but I'm sure that the whole culture is different down there.
And you know what? I'm glad I got the to view many different countries and other police response. It's the same in England too, but English people are just nicer people. But I don't want to get over that because that's a stereotype.
Yeah, I mean, you can say whatever you want, man. It's your views, man. I don't give a shit.
And our local police don't have guns, nor do the English police. So that also, even when they do come, like, what are they going to do?
They don't have guns down there?
Only the international police, like the military, the state police.
Oh, wow.
Which you don't see very often. But the traffic police, the regular police, the police that come to your door.
So,
they have it.
Is there more crime because of that? Is there more crime because people know that they can, they don't have a fatal problem coming to them because there's not a gun involved, so they know they can probably get away with more stuff.
I don't want to be pretentious, but people really shouldn't even have opinions until they live in 2 or 3 different countries. You come down here and see what happens with no guns. The bad guys get guns. The Venezuelans, the Colombians, the narcos, the drug guys. They don't give a fuck. They ride through the desert, through the jungle, and they come in with guns. So what I tell my neighbors here is, in the United States, if, let's say, a bad guy were to come to your store and rob you, maybe one of your good neighbors would be able to stop it with their gun.
Yeah.
But the only people that have guns here are the bad people. So I was not pro-gun until I came here and saw police with no guns.
So that's got to add so much more stress to you, knowing that, it's a Wild West down there, basically, and there's nobody really enforcing to the extent that we got up in the States. The stress.
Good topic to bring up, Steve, but you can see just bringing it up is stressing me out, because I want to go on and bring up different topics about it. And
hey, man, I got all the time in the world to record, man. You can say as much as you want.
I think it's more important to the mental illness,
Well, that's part of it. I think what I'm saying is part of the mental illness, though, because that's the stress level. That's the whole thing I was bringing up.
Look,
the fact that I couldn't imagine being down there in your shoes with.
For the sake of me not being, I'm crazy, but I'm not insane. Down here,
you're in good company, brother.
With the green eyes and the blonde hair, and I dress different and I act different. Yeah, I'm a target. They stereotype me as rich. So yeah, I'm a target. I am. So I do have to be smart,
Yeah. Yes, sir. Is that all you got? Is that your only protection?
What am I gonna do, man?
I don't know. Maybe you need a firearm, dude. Nah, don't get a firearm.
They're illegal here, so I'm still fast, and I stay around friends, and how much do I want to get into it, man? I'm a little slick too, man. I've been around. I got a lot of buddies around the area. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. I help out some of the people on the streets.
That's good.
So they look out for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I move like a little bit like a gangster at times, but how crazy is it?
Hey, man, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
I've been robbed of about 8 or 9 cell phones, and I've been robbed in my wallet twice.
Yeah.
One time in front of the police. So, any precaution, I don't do it all the time, but like I said, sometimes I've had some buddies help me out, follow me home, stay a couple blocks back, make sure that no one's hiding in the bushes, because, down here at this time of night, if I were to just walk out unprepared, man, let's put it this way, my wife doesn't go outside at this hour.
Yeah, right.
She will not. It's not a part of, she doesn't even think in those terms.
Yeah, man. I don't know how you do it, man. I don't know how you do it.
I still live freely.
Yeah.
But you just got to know the tricks of the trade. But in the end, the reality is it's scary, man. Whether United States or here, you can get got anywhere. The latest trick I just saw on Facebook is the taxi driver will have his buddy in the trunk, you know, like a buff guy, a thug. That little old lady will get in the car, nighttime, drive her home. He'll just pull off in the side street, his buddy pops up the trunk. They rob her and just leave her. That's like what happened last week. I have videos I could send you. There was 60, 70 people killed in prison riots in Ecuador 2-3 weeks ago. It was gang related. They sawed off their heads.
Damn. Yeah. You don't want that, man. I still remember seeing. I saw somebody get their head sawed off once from like I'm not sure which terrorist organization it was, but they filmed.
Not in real life.
No,
you said it like you saw it in real life.
No, I didn't see it in real life. I saw it on a video, but it's intense, man. My bad.
I had to kill farm animals down here, and it's pretty terrible, man. I had the worst nightmares of my life.
What's that?
I've had to kill farm animals. Like, I've killed sheep. I sawed off the heads of cows and stuff like that, and killed chickens and stuff, and it's awful, man. Yeah,
why you gotta cut their heads off? Why can't you just, like, do it more kosher?
But I'm not a murderous person. It's terrible, but I don't know if you know Mark Zuckerberg. He took that pledge. For the whole year that you eat, you only kill things that you only eat what you kill. So if you want bacon, you kill a pig. If you want steak, you got to kill a cow. He lived like that, and he actually did it. So me, I thought the same thing. At first, I couldn't kill, but yeah, I've killed a few things, and there's something behind it, man. Like I said, I had the worst nightmares of my entire life.
After doing that.
A little off topic, but
hey, it's cool, man.
Psychology aspect.
It's cool, man. People have been cutting heads off of animals, I would think, for years.
We started off, like I mentioned, people that have gone to war, you know?
Yeah.
What they've seen, you know? But I think that's the problem in our society. Even in the first place, I don't agree that we send people to war and the experiences they have and the way society deals with it. So I think, you know, where can we fix it? Okay, we're not going to stop going to war. So they got to improve the treatment.
Are we talking about down there or up here?
Everywhere. I'm thinking soldiers in America is what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
Psychological issues.
For the PTSD stuff?
But I think our generation... I don't know, man, the consumerism generation, how we entered from, like, not having computers and cell phones to, like, running our lives, I think that kind of fucked our generation a little bit, personally. Brought a lot of mental illness.
For sure.
I believe in the nature nurture. I was partly born with it. I'll say it. I don't like it anyway. I like to say it.
Oh, wait, you didn't get enough love when you were a kid?
No, my sister's mentally ill, but mental illness runs in my family. It's genetic.
Yeah.
My mom's side doesn't have too much mental illness, but my dad's side, yeah.
It's on my mom's. I got it from my mom's side. But there's only a few people that have anything close to what I have. I think partly what brought my mental illness up was something triggered me when I was 20 years old, and it kind of like altered my brain probably forever. So I might not have none of my problems I have might have ever happened if this thing when I was 20 years old didn't happen. You know what I mean? But who knows? I don't know if it's the same for you. I don't know. When did your shit start for you? How old do you think?
Males are most susceptible in their early to mid 20s.
Yeah.
By their 30s, mental illness is rare. So,
yeah,
I studied that and read that, like, but I'll grow out of it by my 30s.
Yeah,
I am 36 years old. Bad shit's fucking crazy sometimes.
They're trying to diagnose people younger and younger anymore. It's kind of ridiculous. People being put on these.
I diagnosing my son because and that pisses me off because my son's perfect.
How old's your son?
He's 6.
You can't see. That's what I'm saying, man. You can't tell if somebody's got mental illness when there's some mental illness, but not like bipolar or you can't be putting people on these you can't put somebody on antipsychotics and shit when they're 6 years old.
Hey, all right, let's go back in the day, man, because we can't. Because remember, and everyone should know for this, we've known each other since first grade kindergarten.
Yeah, we have. We're basically from the same neighborhood.
Yeah, we lived a neighborhood away, 10 minutes. But the thing is, in high school,
yeah,
and anyone even listening from high school, or who cares, here's what I noticed for me. Let's say for me, and I think it applies to you. And it took me till my early 30s. They thought I was fucking crazy back then. They knew we weren't right when we were 16, 17 years old. I haven't ever been right, man. I've always been strange in some regards. And that's what, to my son, where my problems started were ADHD. From 2, 3, 4 years old, I had extreme ADHD. I had to touch everything, run everywhere.
Right.
And I've had it all my life. I've just managed it with psychotropic medicine, alcohol, drugs, sex, and, and work. Money. Those things.
All the above.
But the problems got worse. I had my first psychosis. Like, I lost my mind, probably in my 26, 27 years old. Mm-hmm. Is when it was a problem.
Yeah.
In my 20s,
it was 22.
It was just more behavioral, drinking, being young, some of it acceptable. But the mental health, yeah. And, my thing is I went through mental health court. I had legal issues, and I think you went through something similar, but regardless, you're forced to take piss tests, and you have to take the medicine, and you're under government,
Yeah, man. For almost a year, I wasn't allowed to, have any say in what I put in my body. They would give me a shot. They would give me a shot. In fact, they wanted me to be consistently getting shots. Like even now, they want me now to get a shot once a month in my ass so that I have like a level of this one antipsychotic in my body at all times. I said, hell no. I want to if I want to be able to get off it like this. If I need to get off this medication like that, I want to have that option. That's me though. I'll take the drugs every day. I'll take the drugs every day because I don't want to have that kind of hold on my mental health and my body and all that shit.
Right.
So
I feel the same way. But look, the essential part of the conversation is that you were forced.
Yeah.
Through the government.
Yeah. Piece of property, man.
That was